Hi guys, Josie here. I am 3 days away from my gastric sleeve surgery. I am so excited. I'm near the finish line. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 2-week pre-surgery diet that I'm on. Give a full review of that, tell you everything I'm eating, tell you about the challenges I've experienced and also how much weight I've lost. I'll also describe the purpose of the pre-surgery diet. And then I will go into how I am going to meal plan for my family while I am in the pre-surgery diet and then going forward, because for quite a while I'll be eating something different than what my family eats. I'm hoping to eventually join them for dinner. It's been difficult, to be honest, over these last number of days to do that, but ultimately I'll have to integrate back into eating with the family. So I'm navigating how to put together meals for myself and the rest of the family. So I'm going to review my Hungry Root meal kit, and kind of do an unboxing for that and review everything in that. And then I'm hoping to be able to show a little bit of making one of the meals so that you can see what that's like. Okay, so let's get started. I like to kind of summarize what I'm going to do so that you know what you're getting into with the video, and then I want to dive right in. Okay, so the purpose of a pre-surgery diet for gastric bypass surgery or gastric sleeve surgery is to shrink the liver. Some of us have fatty livers, some of us don't, but when the surgeon is going through the belly, trying to access the stomach, the liver partially obscures the stomach. And so the idea of the pre-surgery diet is to shrink that liver so that it's easier to move and work with the stomach during surgery. So that's the purpose of it. Initially, when I reviewed what I would be eating on this pre-surgery diet, I wasn't bothered by it at all. It seemed really reasonable. When you start a bariatric program, the registered dietitian will go over that really quickly in the process. In fact, you might meet with the physician's assistant first or a physician, and you'll get a booklet probably that will have a ton of information in it. And that pre-surgery diet is mentioned pretty early on because it's a pretty significant part of the process, and it would be unfortunate to get all the way through the process of all the hoops you have to jump through to get to the point of being ready for surgery and then to blow it on the pre-surgery diet. So it's discussed pretty early. Initially, when I looked at the pre-surgery diet, I was like, it's no problem. It's a different experience altogether actually following it. So what I'm going to do now is read through the schedule and the options. Okay, so first of all, what you do in my program is you pick the type of protein drink that you're going to drink. And then, so if you're doing powders or a certain kind of protein drink, you have a list of your schedule and what the options are. And then if you're drinking like the pre-made protein shakes, which is what I chose to do for ease, I'm doing Premier protein shakes, then you have a different schedule. So for breakfast, I can have one of the protein shakes, which is 11 ounces. It feels I'm looking at the wrong list. Hold on, stay with me. Oh my gosh. I realized I grabbed the wrong sheet. Oh, you know what? If I wait until I figure all of this out with filming, I'll never get started. So we're just going to keep rolling. Okay. So I can have one protein shake, which is 11 ounces. In that shake, there are 30 grams of protein. So that's the big goal, is to have lots of protein and a limited amount of carbs and sugar. Okay, so the shake, and then I have an option of choosing one of these three things. I could have a 1/4 cup dry plain cream of wheat cooked with water and then no added sugars or butter. So they give you the dry amount because it might vary how much water you actually cook with it, depending on how you like the consistency. So they give you the dry measurement. So 1/4 cup of dry plain cream of wheat. I have never done that. Or 1/4 cup of dry plain oatmeal cooked with water, no added sugars or butter. Or 1 cup plain Cheerios, eaten dry, no milk, but you can use the protein shake in the cereal. So what I have chosen to do every day except for one so far is the 1 cup plain Cheerios. And I take my protein shake, which these are what the protein shakes look like. They're 11 ounces. And I pour just enough over the cereal to wet it, not enough to make it float like I would like a normal bowl of cereal, but just enough to make it, to wet it down. I'll eat that. And then it's usually a pretty comfortable experience with breakfast. It's pretty filling, especially if you have the protein shake and the cereal in one sitting. Okay, and then you have to take a multivitamin and iron. And then for a snack, you can have 1 cup of sugar-free pudding. Now, if you make that pudding yourself, if you buy one of those boxes of like the Jell-O sugar-free pudding, the volume of it is a lot more than if you buy those little snack cups. You can certainly buy those snack cups for convenience, but you're either going to be dumping more than one out to get your full cup, or you're going to be denying yourself your full serving. I've done both, and I make it now. I buy some fat-free skim milk and go ahead and make the pudding myself. So for a snack, you get 1 cup. So let me review. For breakfast, I have a protein shake and a cup of cereal and my multivitamin. And then I'm having a snack of 1 cup sugar-free pudding. In addition to that, there is the option of having 1 cup of plain spicy or low sodium V8 or tomato juice. I chose not to do that because I didn't want to risk getting heartburn. So instead, I am allowed to have a total of 2 cups of vegetable broth each day. Okay, so lunch, another one of those protein shakes. So another one of these. And then I can choose one of the following. 6 ounces of any flavor yogurt, less than 80 calories per 6 ounces. So I've been doing the Chobani Zero. Or I could have 1 low-fat string cheese that's less than 80 calories. That's not filling at all. Or a 1/2 cup of low-fat cottage cheese. I have found that with those 3 options, the 6 ounces of yogurt is the most filling. Pro tip, if you don't finish your cereal, like if you're willing to pull a little bit of your cereal off to the side, you could put some of your Cheerios in the yogurt for a little variation of texture. Okay, and then your next snack is 1 cup sugar-free Jell-O. So I've just bought like a case of those little individual serving sizes. And then when I made a phone call because I was complaining about how hungry I was told I can eat more than that because it's basically just like flavored water. So you can stock up on Jell-O, I guess. There's nothing in this diet that screams healthy to me. This is solely for the purpose of shrinking your liver, because there's not a world that you can convince me that sugar-free Jell-O and sugar-free pudding is healthy. Okay, it has a purpose, I guess, but it's not healthy. Okay, now for dinner. Again, another protein shake and 1 cup of V8 juice. Now I do the vegetable broth like I mentioned. And then 1/2 cup unsweetened applesauce. And then I forgot to mention at lunch you have to take your calcium citrate. And then at dinner you have to take your calcium citrate. You have to separate taking iron and calcium citrate by 4 hours because iron and calcium will cancel each other out. Okay, and then for snack, your last evening snack, again, you get 1 more of these. And you get to choose one of the three of the following: the 6 ounces of yogurt, 1 low-fat string cheese, or half a cup low-fat cottage cheese. Okay, let me tell you how it went. So that looks like a lot to me, especially the fact that you can have 4 of these in a day. Before my pre-surgery diet, I would have maybe 1 a day because it has 30 grams of protein in it. And I thought, well, that knocks out almost half of the 70 grams that I need to get in a day, because you need to have 70 grams of protein in a day once you start your bariatric program, and then like forever. And then my experience before has been, I thought that they were pretty filling, but I never really used them as a meal replacement. It was more like kind of like having an iced coffee in the morning or something. I kicked coffee, and so I would pour one of these over ice and kind of just pretend that it was an iced coffee. But then I used to also have breakfast, and I used to like to have a big breakfast. So I would make scrambled eggs, veggie sausage, and then sometimes like a low carb toast. So just having the shake by itself with like one little other food item, it's just not filling. It's like filling at first, and then it disappears. Like it fills you up for like an hour. So not satisfying. It has 160 calories in it, 3 grams of fat, 6 carbs, and then the 30 grams of protein. Okay, so I expected day 2 to be the hardest. Anytime I've had to do a diet in the past, anytime I've chosen to do a diet, I've always noticed that day 2 is the hardest. And I guess the same with like cutting back on carbs in general, or giving up coffee or something like that. To me, day 2 is always the hardest, because day 1, your body's just like, oh, this is different. And then day 2, your body's like, what are you doing? And then you start to feel the effects of not eating like you used to. So day 1 went pretty well. I felt like I got really full between breakfast and the pudding that I had for lunch. I was good. As the day went on and I would get close to mealtime, I noticed a lot more hunger. On day 2, I was pretty miserable and tired. The evening of day 2, I went to bed at 7 p.m., which I do like to go to bed pretty early, but usually it's between 9 and 10 p.m., so 7 was unusual. I was so tired that I skipped my 7 p.m. Shake. I think I quickly scarfed down a cheese stick, but I forgot to have the last shake because I was so tired. I just wanted to go to bed. I woke up at 1 a.m. hungry, and I started sobbing, like that kind of inconsolable sobbing, like a toddler having a meltdown kind of sobbing. And so I got up and I went and talked to my husband, and he was like 50% sympathetic, definitely not empathetic, but sympathetic. So he was hugging me and trying to soothe me. And then like 25% going, shh, please don't wake up the girls, because we cannot have them wake up and see you crying because you're hungry, because that sounds crazy. And then 25% like, you need to eat something now. So then I had that shake that I missed. And then I'm going to just admit that I had 1 more serving of yogurt. So in this plan, I've cheated by having 1 extra serving of my yogurt. Don't tell my surgeon. So, the morning, 1 a.m. of day 3 was definitely my rock bottom. The next day I phoned I tried to get a physician's assistant on the phone, because I just felt like that was like higher up in the command. I felt like the physician's assistant could potentially have the surgeon's ear, whereas I didn't feel like the registered dietitian did. I felt like she'd just been like reading to me what was on the list that the surgeon and the team had decided, right? So I was trying to get the physician's assistant, who I have a really good rapport with, on the phone. But instead, the registered dietitian called me back, and I said, listen, I know my liver's healthy. All of my numbers have been good. What when I've done my blood work. I don't drink alcohol. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat any meat at all. My fats have typically come from dairy and maybe cooking oil. So I'm like, I'm sure my liver's in good shape. I said, can I do more blood tests? Can I have an ultrasound? I was trying to find any way that they would just let me have more calories. And she was just like, absolutely not. And the only thing that I got out of that phone call was, you can have more Jell-O if you want. You can have more of the sugar-free Jell-O because it's basically just like flavored water. I was like, okay, thanks. I was a little bit sassy in that phone call because I had PMS. I started my period the next day and I was just hangry. And so I said to her, I said, okay, so basically you're telling me I have 3 options. I can continue to be miserable on this diet. I can lie to you, which I'm sure that lots of the patients do. Or 3, I can drop out of the program because I fail. Those are my options, right? And she's like, well, I wouldn't lie because that's to your own detriment. I was like, okay, I'm just going to power through this, lean on my family. And so it did continue to get better, but it's not been easy. It's been pretty rough. I know that this program isn't universal to all of the other programs. I have been doing my research here on YouTube, just seeing other individuals going through their pre-surgery diet. And there's anything from like a 1-week pre-surgery diet to like, there was someone else that was on a pre-surgery diet that involved 2 shakes a day, unlimited vegetables, and 1 lean source of protein a day. So that sounds a lot more reasonable to me. I didn't mention that I'm allowed to have raw vegetables in the evening after I've consumed everything else. So I do that, but sometimes I just want to go to bed because I'm tired. So sometimes I don't get those extra vegetables in, because in my diet, the raw vegetables are an extra thing. They're not part of the plan. If you get through all of the other food, then you're allowed to have raw vegetables. So anyway, yeah, so there are different plans out there, and I'm clocking in at about 197 right now. I've lost 10 pounds on this pre-surgery diet that lasts 2 weeks. I lost 10 pounds in the first 3 days, and then I just stayed there. My body was like, okay, this is your new eating plan, I guess. This is what your new weight is. So I've stayed at like 197 after day 3. So, but you can't tell me that I require the same diet as maybe like a 6-foot male that's going to be 400 pounds on the table. I'm just not convinced that we all need the same diet. I really feel like it could have been better tailored to me specifically and to the individual patient. That would be my feedback, but I don't know that the team would take that into consideration. I don't know, but I'll definitely, I think when I've crossed the finish line and I go for like my 2-week and 1-month follow-ups, that I'll talk about it more with them and see if they have any more feedback. So, but an unintended, surprising good outcome from this very restrictive pre-surgery diet is that my arthritis disappeared. Now that's a correlation. It's not, I can't claim causation yet, but I am assuming that it has something to do with eating a low inflammatory diet. So I have to do some more reflecting on that. I'm not having any wheat right now, so maybe the wheat is what it was. But anyway, thank you for listening. I can't wait to film my day of surgery and reflect and just continue to document the process. I hope that you join me on this journey if you're going through the same thing. If you are watching this in real time and we're kind of in the same place and we are, kind of peers just going through this together, maybe I'm post-surgery by the time you see this and you've seen like my day of surgery video and my kind of progress as I recover, and then you're coming back and watching the videos. And if that's the case, then I hope that I can give you some guidance and some encouragement. From what I've also heard, this pre-surgery diet is worse than recovering from the surgery. So if this is as bad as it gets, I'm grateful and I can't wait to continue to make progress. Thank you for listening. Next up within this video, you'll see me come back and talk about the meal subscription and an unboxing from my Hungry Root meal kit. So take care. See you soon. Okay, so day one breakfast, I have my 1 cup of dry Cheerios, my Premier Protein chocolate peanut butter shake, and I will use some of this in here, water. After I'm done eating this, I will have a cup of vegetable broth, and I'll drink it like hot tea. I have my multivitamin and iron. Okay, so just a quick update. I've had breakfast, so I've had my protein shake with my Cheerios, and I've had some water, and I've taken my multivitamin. Oh my gosh, what else? I've taken my iron tablet and 3 of my prescription medications. I'm full, so I'm going to hold off on the vegetable broth until I feel like I have some hunger. Just a minute. Okay, so I am having 1 cup of vegetable broth, and I'm gonna pretend like it's tea. Sounds super yummy, just kidding. Day 1 first snack, sugar-free pudding. Remember, I could have had a larger portion or a larger volume of it if I would have made it myself. I can have up to a cup, but I already had this, so I'm gonna eat it. Finished with the yogurt, time for the next protein shake. I wish I would have put another flavor in the fridge. Day 1 afternoon snack, sugar-free Jell-O. For dinner, the usual protein shake and applesauce. Also, I'll have more vegetable broth. And finally, at the end of the evening, red peppers, raw, and a side of fat-free Greek yogurt with Mrs. Dash mixed in. That will be the end of the evening, other than drinking water. So I grabbed a meal kit for the rest of my family to use while I'm on my pre-surgery diet, and I'll probably continue that after surgery just so that I can be less involved with meal preparation. I'm the one who does the grocery shopping and the majority of the meal planning, and I like to be more hands-off. So I went with Hungry Root. This is my first time with a meal subscription, so I'm going to do an unboxing and I'll let you know how it goes. So I ordered for a family of 4, and I asked for 4 meals and snacks. So comes in a box like this, and it's well insulated, and it comes with a really nice ice pack.